Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. This is Show Me the Market and my name is AbdulRahman Gaddafi Yassin. Today I'm chilling with HAMZA HASSAN. Most of you know him as UNAWEZA. He's going to tell us more the journey behind UNAWEZA and House of Hope, because House of Hope contains and has a lot of information. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Vipi?
How are you? Alhamdulillah.
UNAWEZA.
Bidnillah.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. And welcome so much to our show.
Thank you.
And maybe if we can start with, I want you to tell us maybe your journey on how it started, about your motivational speaking, because most of people knows you as a motivational speaker. Most of people knows you as HAMZA, UNAWEZA. Yes, tell us about your journey.
Thank you so much. My name is HASSAN HAMZA. My story, I grew up, they say, I grew up in a humble background. For me, it was not humble. It was harsh. So my journey about motivation started some time back in 2007. I had just finished high school, and I went to this, it was a workshop for young people. So when I went to this workshop, there was this guy, I remember his name was Onesimus. And Onesimus, first look at him, he was tall. As men, we cannot say someone is handsome, but he was not ugly but anyway. So this guy talked to us. He was tall, he was wearing a nice suit, and he talked to us. First glance at him, you cannot tell this someone who grew up in abject poverty. So he told us for 4 days he used to go to school, and then for 3 days he used to go from Jengo, so that Jengo, this construction manual labor. So that's what he used to do. And the story, it related to my story. It resonated with me. Then from there, something was planted inside of me. But it did not start there and then. So I worked in NGOs as peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer means you are teaching, or you're facilitating for people you are almost your age or your class, something like that. So we used to talk about drugs, sexual reproductive health and rights. So I did that for quite a while, around 8 years. So around 2015, and then I became a Muslim. Around 2012, 2013, I started practicing Islam 2015. Okay. So when I started practicing Islam, I felt like this other life, because what I was doing then in that sexual reproductive health and rights and teaching, sometimes we would go and teach young people about family planning, about, I don't want to mention, but about how when you're doing zina, you cannot get pregnant. And so when I became a Muslim, it was a bother. And I remember one day I'm sitting in a matatu, and I'm thinking, remember very well, seated karibu na dirisha, and I was talking to myself and having a conversation. How can I, stop this? Then I went to this event. There was this guy, his name was Pepe Minambo. He was a very great motivational speaker. He used to have a catchphrase, aspire to expire before you expire. So I went there and he talked to us. And subhanallah, he gave us a book. That book was Beyond Limits. When I read that book, it answered a lot of questions that I had. I found out, so this motivational speaking, I had that urge to help people. I was not afraid to stand in front of people and talk, even though it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not saying I was not nervous. I was not saying, but I could overcome it. I could do it despite
it
the
came
hardship.
in with a lot of challenges.
So I found out that he had this academy for teaching people how to speak, and then I joined. It was 40,000 shillings. I didn't have the money. I borrowed the money, went for the course. Alhamdulillah, that was around 2015. So since then I started, it was very difficult at first. Then alhamdulillah, here I am today.
MashaAllah. Yes. The UNAWEZA name. It's a Swahili name. UNAWEZA. You can do anything. Maybe where the story behind that name?
Yes, you can, UNAWEZA. So one day I'm doing a video, these small clips, social media. So I'm doing a video, it's in Sheng, I'm in the moment, and as it's finishing, you know, I was telling brother, it's difficult, but ngangana, usichoke, unaweza. So the people that were recording and the people that watched the video first, they said, unaweza. You know, first it spoke to me because I grew up as a low self-esteemed child. My mom used to sell milk, so sometimes I would go to sell milk to my classmates, you know. They would see me as I was a hawker as a child. So at school, yani, watu wanakuchekelea, people laugh at me. At home, I don't have friends. I didn't have enough clothes to wear, so my clothes were always dirty. I was short, I could not fight for myself. So I had a very low self-esteem. So this unaweza started speaking to me fast. You know, so I will tell myself, whenever I'm going to speak somewhere, I tell myself, Hamza, unaweza. You can do, yes, you can. And then, pole pole tu. And then other people also picked it up. So even today, people call me, Hamza, unaweza. My name is Hassan Hamza. Yeah. People call me Hamza, unaweza, yes.
And surprisingly, you can find some people ending up saving your number, yes, like Hamza, unaweza.
You go to Google and write Hamza, unaweza. That's first it will come Hamza, unaweza before Hamza Hassan.
Hassan.
Yes.
Now that has changed to become your name.
They say if the shoe fits, you wear it.
You've cleared the air. And maybe let us speak about the House of Hope, yes, because we've spoke about the unaweza, the name House of Hope. Where does it derive from? So
before I started the motivational speaking, I used to read other people's quotes and stories, and I had a Facebook page that I called it House of Hope. Okay. So I would post other people's stuff there. So when I started my own company or organization, I saw that this is the best name because I'm in the business of hope. So why not call it a House of Hope?
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, in the business of hope, in the House of Hope, what services do you offer?
I do motivational speaking, mentorship and coaching one-on-one. I do team building activities. Team building is where a company maybe wants to have fun and learn, maybe teachers, company get together, they want to go somewhere, maybe create teamwork, team bonding. So they call me, I have a few games that I do, and also from the games there are lessons that people get to learn of how can we work together, how can we strengthen our bond. So that is, like I said, motivational speaking, mentorship, one-on-one coaching, team building, and I'm also involved in a lot of programs in the community, for mentorship, for motivation, both young people, men and women. Yes.
Speaking about all of that you've mentioned, those are nice stuffs, and I know there is an hierarchy on how you started. Maybe you can mention your first move. Which one was it, and how was the experience the first day maybe you received your first contract? Hamza, we need you to do maybe motivation, or maybe if it was team building, how was it?
Well, I don't remember exactly the first one, but first I started doing stuff for free. I remember one day in a mosque in Umoja, I had gone there to pray, and then I overheard people speaking. They were organizing an event. And they were saying, we need an MC. And I didn't know them. I just gone to pray. And I went and approached them. I said, Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hamza Hassan. I can come and volunteer to be your MC. He said, unaweza, we can do it. I said, yes. And I went. I remember that day, Juma Amir was there as the speaker. I was shy. I was very nervous. So I did that for free. They gave me a little bit of transport. I started seeing like Alamin Mosque. I saw his brother Ali Khalid, mashallah, may Allah bless him. He will put posters on social media, on Facebook. They are organizing a youth event. I went to his Facebook DM. I said, Assalamu alaikum, my name is so-and-so. I can MC this event. He said, come. So I went. They paid me 2,000 shillings that time, you know. So the more I started doing this stuff for free, people were seeing the value that I'm bringing. You know, an MC is called somewhere. So next time someone called Ali Khalid, said I need an MC. Ali Khalid, proposed my name. I went there. I did an excellent job. Now the nervousness had starting, going down and down, So I went there. So people started knowing who I am. And then now they say, listen to this, they say, love something so much that you can do it for free, but do it so well that people are willing to pay you for it. So that's what happened to me.
That was the cliche. And I think the viewers back at home, whatever thing you're doing, that's a tip.
Yeah.
Wanasema a drop in an ocean, amechukua kidogo, we're giving it to you there. And maybe you've mentioned that. Maybe your clients, who are your clients? Because someone who is watching right now might ask, okay, we need someone who can help us in doing 1, 2, 3, which you've mentioned. Who are your clients?
My clients are anyone and everyone. Adults, I've worked with companies, I've given corporate trainings, corporate speeches, corporate emceeing, but mostly I work with schools. That's mostly my clientele, schools and young people.
And before we take short break, I want you maybe to tell people, you dealing with these young people, it is challenging, and most of people avoid to work with these young and youthful people compared with elderly people. How do you manage to do that?
I manage to work with young people because I speak their language. Okay. They look at me and they see that I'm not that old, that whatever that I'm telling them, and when I share my story, and when they say, when you share your story, they say, story is data with a soul. So people can look at you and see themselves in you.
They reflect.
Yeah, it's a reflection. So that's how I'm able to connect with young people. And Alhamdulillah, I remember one time I was invited to speak somewhere, young people, a vocational training. And when I finished, I asked, do you have a question? And I saw one young, they were quiet for some time. I saw one of them nudging the other, uya kuna swali, and literally, raised the friend's hand. And when she stood up, she said, she had tears in her eyes, and she said, Mungu akupatie kenye unataka. She said that, you've really helped me. This girl had been trying to kill herself. And she said, your story has shown me there's the reason to go on, to keep on living. Mwenyezi Mungu akubariki, akupe kitu unataka. So that, that gives me a lot of joy.
MashaAllah. And I think at that point, we can take a short break. And I know most people are asking how much he is charging, because he mentioned he was doing it for free. Maybe you can get a free services, you never know. We are taking a short break. When we get back, we're going to tell you more about this story. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. You are watching Horizon TV, and this is Show Me the Market. Today I'm hanging around with HAMZA Hassan. Most of you know him as UNAWEZA guy. Yes, and out of the story that this guy has narrated, this guy anaweza. Ama vipi? Karibu tena.
Shukran sana.
As we move forward, HAMZA, maybe let us speak about how you make your business to become unique. Most of people are offering the same services that you're offering as well. How do you make sure that whatever services that you're offering to the public, it's unique?
My uniqueness is my story. Okay. In my motivation, I use my story a lot. And I use, my passion. They say, have the passion that fires the committed and fries the non-committed. So my passion and the things that speak to me. So that's my uniqueness. I can have people that are better than me. I can have people that I can learn from me, but can never be another me. So that's my uniqueness. Yeah.
Mashallah, that's cool. Mentioning about, do you have a mentor whom you're looking upon to, that you wish like one time, I want to do better and better to achieve or to be like someone?
Definitely. You have. And I say this not only to myself, to yourself, to anyone watching this. You need a mentor or mentors. I have many mentors. I have mentors for my marriage. I have mentors for my deen, people that when in matters of deen, in matters of my business. I have people that I have questions, I have decisions to make. After first consulting Allah, I consult my mentors. So I have a lot of mentors. Yeah.
And okay, that sounds
And
cool.
some that I know and know me, and some that don't know me, because some of them are people that I read a lot of books. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah.
Mashallah, that's cool. And maybe let us speak about now the services that you offer and the prices that you charge.
I was hoping that question, you will not ask that question. Anyway, charging it depends. It depends. But it depends with the client, it depends with a lot of things. It depends with the amount of work.
Okay.
But can be low, can be high. Yeah. But alhamdulillah, from 5,000, 10,000 to up to 100,000. Yes.
Millions or 100?
Millions. I've been praying.
Yeah.
I've been making millions. I've been praying, but
UNAWEZA.
With
That's cool. So I think you've had from 5,000 till millions. It depends the type of services that you want HAMZA HASSAN to give it to you, or to your organization, to your school. It depends where you want HAMZA to come or to pay you a visit. And I think that's a cool thing, per mention and everything. And whenever we speak about motivation, most people need motivation.
Yeah.
You can see students needs motivation.
Yeah.
Comparing, or when we can see how the state of our country this time. And maybe I want to speak about maybe the COVID-19 time. Most of people, their businesses went down and everything. How did COVID-19 affected you, or how did this affected you both in a positive way and negative way?
I can say in a negative way, but anything that happens to a Muslim is khair. The Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tells us that, or teaches us that, if there is something good, you praise Allah, you say Alhamdulillah. If it's something that's not very pleasant, you have sabr, but the effect or the impact is, number one, my job rotates around meeting people, around mostly events and interacting with people. So first, that I could not do that, but then again, I had time to reflect, I had time to read, I had time to maybe come up with different strategies. And also, I think one of the most important lessons that I learned from COVID-19 is, that kweli naweza, this has been difficult, but we are still here. It's difficult. The world, everyone was thought that the world is crashing or the world is ending, but we got out of that. So something else ikikuja, you have that experience.
Yeah. And maybe what is that one thing that you're proud of, saying that this COVID-19, yes, it was a disaster, but to me, alhamdulillah, I managed to achieve 1, 2, 3.
I moved to a bigger house.
When others were scaling down.
I moved to a bigger house, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe in addition?
In addition, I don't know, maybe spending more time with family. Yeah.
HAMZA, let's speak about competition. The competition, maybe it is tight outside there, comparing with other companies offering the same services. How do you make sure you stay ahead in competition?
First of all, I do not compete. I complement. I try to be, not to compete with others. I try to be better than I was yesterday, to compete with myself. But also to be, let's say, for me, what I would say is, how do I stay relevant with the times, because things are changing. I don't want someone that had me, when I was younger. I don't want 10 years, 20 years, someone to say, umesikia HAMZA, you had HAMZA today. Me, I had him, I've had him today, but you should have had him 20 years ago when he was younger, when he was there, a lot of energy. I want people to say, I've had HAMZA today. I had him 20 years ago, he was energetic, he was young, but today, mashallah, 20 years later, I think he has learned some more skill. I think he has done some more research. So for me, what I do, I love to say that to stay relevant, I consume knowledge like a desert rose consumes the sun. Yeah, so I learn about everything.
You know, Hamza is full of words, eh?
That's that's my job, bro.
He's full of words, eh? Like the one I've asked you about, how do you stay ahead in competition? You said you don't compete.
I don't compete, I compliment.
You compliment.
Yes.
Mashallah. I'll start doing that from today. Yes, I'll not compete with my, I'll not mention. So maybe let us speak about, for how long have you been into this market?
There's two ways to answer that question. Passively, I've been in this business for 15 years. And actively, that is passively, because I was doing something else. I was employed somewhere, or I had a job and something else I was doing. And then I would do this maybe part-time or during the weekends or once in a week. But now, actively, like now this is a business, and every day I wake up, this is my focus, and every day, for 8 months now. Alhamdulillah, I was working somewhere, a job that I loved so much, like you know, a TV producer, and I just, you know, got to somewhere and at a point, and I thought, you know, I think I can offer more value in speaking and mentoring young people and team building more than I'm doing today, and alhamdulillah, left there amicably.
Hamza, being into this market and into this industry, automatically you've been facing challenges. Maybe if you can mention 1, 2, or 3 challenges that you face.
I think challenge. The first one would be, you know, people book you, and then they postpone or they cancel at the last minute. When maybe someone had booked you, let's say 2nd of August or 1st of August, and then you block that day. Other people call you, say, on this day I'm held up, and then later they cancel. Another thing is, people don't, you know, people. I remember a friend. It's a friend that I can share. He said, you know, you motivational speakers, you know, mnakula pesa ya bure. You just go and memorize quotes and come and tell people. People don't realize how difficult it is to stand in front of people, to connect with them, you know, to share your story. And someone, I've spoken, I've literally gone to speak in many schools, and I speak to the kids, and when I look around, it's the teachers who are crying. The teachers, imagine, adults. The kids are looking, you know, it's people don't know how hard you have to work for you to get to that point. So people don't realize how difficult it is. Also, when it comes to pay, you know, people want utakuja tu ongea hapa. Unaona, people want to give you, you know, just peanuts, eh? Yeah. So those, I can say majorly those are the challenges that we face, amongst many others.
And how do you solve them? In case it appears someone has booked you and it reaches that day, he turns you down, and maybe you had other bookings which you also turned them down. How do you solve them?
Wallahi, I'll say my mindset is whatever Allah plans is the best. You know, I have my plans, I have my needs. Maybe I remember there's a time a client had booked me, and the money that they were supposed to, I had planned that money to pay rent, and they cancelled. But then Allah gives you some other client. Out of nowhere, you get a call, and you get maybe more, maybe the equivalent of that amount, maybe less. Maybe sometimes you have to you know, you learn. You learn. So I handle, I can say, I handle issues as they come. Yeah.
And mashallah. And let us speak about all of these has happened, ups and downs, and maybe you interacting with your clients from one angle to another angle. Maybe what is that one thing that you'd like your clients to always remember you with?
I want my clients, you know, I would like my clients to feel that I care. You know, I'm not there just for the money. Yes, I want the money, I need the money, I have a family, I have bills, but I'm not there for the money. They say people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay. So I want, when I go to speak, I want people to nod their heads and say, you know, this guy was prepared, you know, he took his time, you know. What he's saying is he's not just saying something that he went and read somewhere. He's saying something that connects with us. And I want someone to say, yes, this is something I can use. This is something that I can put in my life. I want people to come after have spoken to them and tell me, you know, wallahi, what you shared, you changed my life. My greatest achievement is the person that I am today. Because if I could take your hand and take you and show you this, when I was growing up, and then someone comes and shows me that one day you'll be seated where I'm seated today and talking to you in front of camera, and I'll be going to speak to thousands of people and people will change their lives. No, I will not have believed. So it gives me a lot of joy. Alhamdulillah. First of all, I thank Allah because I was in another path and Allah brought me to this path. And I strive in everything that I do to be in the sirat, in the path of Allah. So whenever this happens, first I thank Allah. And then of course, I feel good and it gives me, you know, the fire to keep on going.
The motivation factor behind it.
Yes.
Mashallah, that's
I
good.
talk to myself and I tell myself, UNAWEZA.
UNAWEZA, that's good. And as we wind up the show, I want you to give out a piece of advice to those who are watching, which cuts across.
I would say, there is nothing in a caterpillar that shows you it's going to be a butterfly one day. So wherever you are today, whatever you are doing today, whatever is in your life, whatever that condition that you are in, and you think to yourself that you look at other people and think, you know, I would like one day to be like that person, and you think you cannot. You know, I want to ask you a question. Think of Yusuf alayhi salam when he was thrown in the well and the brothers left him there and he was bored. Think of him inside there and someone tells him, one day you'll be a minister in Egypt, in Masr, in Cairo. What, do you think you would have believed it? So the situation, I'm sure anyone that's watching this is not in a pit or in a well. So whatever situation that you are in, I want you to read this. UNAWEZA.
Asante sana. Nadhani, till where we've reached now, the only thing that I can tell you back there, where you are sitting, where you are watching, safari ni hatua. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.